And good morning, everyone. I think we're there. Hey, there's Autumn in Asia, of all people. And Tim and Griffin and Robert. And it's good to see you, Autumn. I've been getting your messages and your videos, by the way, just to let you know. I'm sorry I haven't responded to you. It's been a crazy week. Um, for those of you that are not channel members, we will have a channel member video right after this video, immediately following this video. So if you are not a channel member and wish to be a part of that, you can just click the join button below, and for $2.99, you can get access to all kinds of good stuff, including our private line group, private Facebook group. Actually, you don't even need to be a channel member to get in that group. Extra content, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, today we're going to be talking about Thailand's reopening and the issues surrounding it. A lot of people are wondering about certificate of entry. Is it gone? Is it going? What are they going to replace it with? What about the emergency decree? Are they going to keep it around? What happens if they replace it? I'm going to give you some of those answers today, and I'm sure members and my community, my subscribers here, will no doubt help a lot. What's up, Travel TV? Good to see you, man. Hope your first full week in Bangkok here went wonderful. I did not get a chance to watch all of your stories as I normally do because I have been extraordinarily busy. What's up, Roger McGee? Good to see you, my friend. Big C, hello to you. It is good to see you. I'm glad you are joining us today. So, we have some issues that need to be talked about. And the first one is the certificate of entry. And they got a good question on the Tiger the other day. I was watching briefly there. And basically, what they said was they said if you come in on, because the certificate of entry, how can I have one thumbs down already? Because there are people that just hate this channel. That's why, Autumn. I don't know why I have the thumbs down. I don't know. I just started talking. I haven't even said much of anything yet, so I don't know. Anon, howdy. Good to see you. Glad you are here. I'm glad I know your bike riding has been very healthy for you, but it's good to see you, man. Yes, they do, Autumn. That's right. They love to hate. Love to hate. And I know you are having the time of your life, so I'm not even, I know you're not a hater. Anyway, so they were asked if the certificate of entry would be, if they came in with the certificate of entry on November the 2nd, would that be, would they still accept it? And the guys at the Tiger were like, I'm sure they'll make some kind of statement. But the truth is, we don't know. Hey, Ross, what's up, buddy? Charles says that thumbs down showed up before the stream started. Oh, well, that was just a troll then. Ross says he got his first jab this week and was able to get 2 different appointments. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Good. Travel TV. Oh, Anon, yeah. I hope you guys met up. Speaking of which, Anon, we'll talk about it in the channel members only live stream coming up right after this one. Because you're not that far from me. I didn't realize how close Cham is to Bangkok. I don't know why. So we're gonna have to meet up. Ross says, just in time for my annual November road trip. I hear you, bud. Watched a little bit of your live streams. Ross has a channel. You can go over there. He's doing a little driving around. I think he's got a new toy he's going to check out. So anyway, back to Thailand. All right. So as of now, I don't know that anything has been published in the Royal Gazette, but I'm going to tell you what at least has been proposed to the best of my knowledge. You guys can jump in and correct me. Please jump in and correct me if I'm wrong or give me additional information, because I've only read this stuff and been able to study the videos. Kind kind of skimming, really, more than doing an in-depth study on them, just simply because this week at work has been absolutely insane. Plus, we just found out, and you guys can look this up, okay? So obviously, I work for a company I work for two companies, okay? In November the 5th, foreign teachers can no longer teach Chinese students that are not in China, okay? So basically, that gives me a couple more weeks of that second job, and then I've partnered with the same company to be a global teacher, but that they don't know when that's going to come back online. It could be as late as February of next year. So, channel members, we're going to be talking about that in a live stream, and you guys can look this up on the internet if you don't believe me. It's China's regulations for teaching their kids. ESL from abroad is over in China. Nothing posted in the Gazette yet. Cool. Ross got some great video of guys doing kite surfing. That's awesome. What's up, Mike G? Pepe, what's up? Nothing posted in Gazette yet, says Charles. I'll take your word for it, brother. Okay, so good. So we're talking proposals. That means we have a little bit of leniency. Small disclaimer, I'm not a travel agent. This is not financial advice. This is not a bashing of Thailand, which is something I wanted to make very, very, very clear before we go down this road today. And that is, I receive a lot of comments that say, why do you live in Thailand if you hate it so much? I'm like, hate Thailand? I don't hate Thailand. Are you crazy? I love this country. I love living here. This is the only place in the world I've lived outside the U.S. for this amount of time. I was in the Philippines for 9 months, and I've been in Thailand 3.5 years now. So I absolutely love Thailand, but I asked the questions. I asked not necessarily provocative questions, but questions to generate critical thinking. And if people interpret that as hating Thailand, or if I state facts about Thailand or about living here and people think that's negative, I really apologize to those people who think, actually, I don't apologize to the people who think that's negative. I would encourage those people to take a different perspective and understand that my information that I supply is boots on the ground, studied from my own experience or from the people around me's experience that's been here in Thailand. I've been here long enough now. I know some people that work in government. I know some cops. I know some immigration officers. In fact, I know quite a few immigration officers. I know some lawyers. And, so I get some information from other sources. And that's why I want to pass along everything I can to you guys. So, with that being said, certificate of entry scheduled to be dropped November the 1st, to the best of my knowledge. But it will be replaced with something called Thailand Pass. And the Thailand Pass is just going to be an app on your phone. It may already integrate to one of the apps that they have available, like the More Prawn or More Shana or whatever the apps that I forgot. It's on my phone, but whatever apps they have now, they may integrate that pass to it. Now, Robert, thank you for dropping the PayPal link and the Cash App. I appreciate that very, very much. I will pin that to the top of the screen. Contributions go for travel and equipment. They're not going for living expenses. You guys really helped me get through that rough patch of being partially furloughed here in Thailand, and we're through the rough patch now. So we're looking to build a travel fund again like we used to, and I'm hoping that we get some holiday time coming up before the official start of the next semester. Maybe we'll get a couple of days holiday, and hopefully I'll have a little bit of a travel fund. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. But it is what it is at this point. Thank you for putting that link down there, Robert. I really appreciate it. And for any contributions that may come in, thank you in advance. Now, moving on. So Thailand is this really big chunk of paradise, right? It really is. And it is what you make of it. Okay. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely come to Thailand. But I want to suggest to some, we're going to talk about entry requirements and all that stuff. This is not going to go more than an hour. Okay. Because I have another live stream to do, right after this, but I encourage you to go to somewhere like the Philippines or, another, maybe don't go to Myanmar, not now, Cambodia, Laos. Go to one of those countries first for a month and then come to Thailand. The reason I say that, you will really appreciate Thailand if you do that. That's what I did. I went to the Philippines first, stayed for 9 months. Then I came to Thailand and realized that I was in a third world country. Now I'm in a developing country. So it was good to see this part of the world and to see it expanding. Because Thailand has a lot of a lot of good things for expats that live here, or expats that live and work here, like myself, or retiring expats. Thailand has a multitude of destinations and things to do. So there's every reason in the world to come to Thailand. I just want to put that out there for you tourists and people that islands, beaches, mountains, rivers, natural beauty, waterfalls, rock formations, all kinds of stuff in Thailand that you can see. It's just amazing. What's up, Asian Scripted? Good to see you in the house, man. So certificate of entry goes down November the 1st, will be replaced with a digital pass. Now, according to what I read, this Thailand Pass is only supposed to contain your vaccine information on it. Now, if that's the case, number one, it's a total invasion of privacy, period. Don't care who you are. It's an invasion of your privacy. It's an invasion of your personal freedom. And we even had a channel member note from an article. Where did you note from, Anon? Put it in the chat down there if you don't mind. Where did you quote from? The UN or something like that? You can put that quote in the live chat, and I'll read it live, and we'll talk about it. But it talked about taking away personal freedoms. Nobody has the right to your health information unless you give it to them. You and your doctor have the right to your health information, or healthcare workers. That's my personal take on everything. I'm not saying that you should not get vaccinated. I'm not saying that you should get vaccinated. I'm not saying that you should not use the Thailand Pass. I'm not saying you should. I'm simply providing information and my own personal opinion. Now, so I'm against all forms of, of invasions of privacy or loss of freedom. Me personally. If you are not, if you're the person that likes government control, you want the government to handle your life, you want, you don't have a problem with authoritarianism. I hope I said that right. Or anything like that. What's up, Scotty B? Good to see you. If you don't have a problem with that, if that's the way you like to live, as many people do, then you shouldn't have a problem with the Thailand Pass at all. So the Thailand Pass is only supposed to contain your vaccination information on it. That's what it's supposed to do right now. So with the world we live in, and there's a quote right there. I'll get back to what I was getting ready to say in just a second. Anon says, the quote I gave the other day was, everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and return to his country from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. That's what it was. Very good. Very good there. And yeah, Pepe, The show me your papers thing is 100% correct, and I believe 100% in what in that it's becoming, and I fear for my home country of America. I really do. Charles White says Thailand Pass, you have to upload documents like the Vax card, from what I've heard, and so many people call it an app. But then he's going to write something else. When they describe the interface, they say you go to a web page to upload stuff and then get a code. Sounds more like a web interface than not an app. Perhaps it will be a web interface, Charles. It very well may be. So, but we don't have clarification around this yet. This is just something that's come up recently. LG says Thailand wants to know your vaccine status, otherwise can't enter, or are unvaccinated allowed in with Q. To the best of my knowledge, the unvaccinated will be allowed in with Q and testing. Here's the other thing. Even with the Thailand Pass, you're going to have to get a test before and a test when you land. Okay? And you got to wait on the results before you can do anything. So, it's that's for coming in tourists. Now, the Thailand Pass is basically the certificate of entry. Okay, the information that you had to upload for your certificate of entry is pretty much about the same as you're going to upload for your Thailand Pass. Okay, so maybe they send you a QR code on your phone, Charles. Maybe that's what happens. You upload it to a website, they send you a QR code, so you just show them the QR code. And when you get here, they scan it, and bam, your vaccine history pops up, or your entire medical history pops up. Your entire background pops up. If you've ever been a criminal, your entire criminal record pops up. We don't know what they're going to put on that on the pass. I'm not saying they're going to put any of those things. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking for criminals to come in here anyway. I don't like criminals in America. I don't like criminals anywhere. So it's not. And there are plenty of expat criminals here that may not have a record in Thailand, but they've certainly committed crimes. So with that being said, the pass is maybe a good thing. I don't know. It may turn out that it's just your vaccine information, and it's just the information that you had to give to the same as the COE, pretty much. However, there's another issue you need to be aware of, and that is this emergency decree, because they are making amendments to the Communicable Disease Act right now here in Thailand that are very similar to the laws of the emergency decree. And if you don't know what the emergency decree is, it basically gives the government sweeping powers to implement anything they need in an emergency situation. So they're taking parts of the emergency decree that would allow the government to do things in just about for any reason, and putting it in the Communicable Disease Act. So are we going to be emergency decree free? Maybe in semantics, but I don't think Thailand is going to release the emergency decree. Now, there are some visas coming up for some wealthy individuals. If you are a high net worth individual, they're looking for you and they want you to come. So let's go catch some comments real quick, and I'll come back to that. Anon says, here's the thing about the Vax passport. Do you object to yellow fever vaccine requirements? Yellow fever case fatality rate of 40%, by the way. Well, I've already had the yellow fever vax. But here's my thing, Anon. Yes, I object to the requirement. Absolutely. I think, and here's why. The yellow fever vaccine has been around for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. Okay, so we know what it does to people, and we know what it what to expect. We also have big numbers, like 40%, right? We know what the actual death rate is of the disease. We're talking about vaccinating people for something around the 1% mark. So you talking to me about yellow fever versus C19 is like apples and oranges. We're talking about a vax. This is a fact. Okay, this is not an opinion. A vax that was created in 9 months versus a vax that was created over years and went through many trials. So yeah, I disagree with the mandate. I don't like mandates, period. Nobody should be able to tell me that I have to get I have to put something in my body. That, for me, that's just me. Just me. Charles says, correct, not clear. Hope they spend more time to secure it than the last attempts. Yes, that's the other thing. And Benjamin Hart just released a video on that this morning from Integrity Illegal. And me too. I was hoping it sticks. The last time we had this charge to reopen back, I believe it was March, right? March of this year. Everything was looking good. April came around. We were still, very first of April, we were still looking good. And then all of a sudden, chop. Everything got closed down. The 10 days of queue went back to 14. The 7-day queue went back to 14. The lockdowns that we had that were open, that were basically opened back up, they were re-implemented with even more concentration on keeping people from moving around. So, let's hope it doesn't happen again, Charles. I agree 100%. Ross says, Anon, I thought yellow fever was a look. I like that. And yeah, there's probably not a vaccine. Tim says, no matter what country it may be, government will watch you and keep tabs on you just the way it is. And I agree with that, Tim. That is true. That is true. I don't really care. I'm just trying to get to paradise. Fair enough. Fair enough. Again, it's up to that's what I'm saying. It's up to individual. I'm talking about individual choice. That's what I'm talking about. And you are making your individual choice. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. Charles says, Ross around Anon. Yep, no cure, thankfully. He's talking about he's not talking about any kind of diseases, okay? Was never going to look for Elder. Ross says that's funny. Anon says, yeah, DoMoreLife. The amendments to the Communicable Disease Act are the real concern for me. Me as well. Anon's concerned about it because he's retired over here. And, the thing about it is, I'm living over here. I don't plan on going anywhere. And it bothers me a little bit. I mean, if they don't put anything that affects me in, some type of way and negatively, then I don't care what they do. Bring on all the positivity change, all the positive changes you want, bring it on. But when it starts to have a negative impact in my life, that's when I talk about it. I'm not complaining about Thailand. Don't get me wrong. I would much rather do I'd much rather go through everything that I've gone through here in Thailand than I would have had I been back in the States. Let me put it that way. So I'm very grateful for that. Pilthos, not sure. It's good to see you, buddy. He says, not sure I can stay, but popped in to say hi. Well, hello to you, and I am very, very glad to see you, my friend, and I hope you are doing well. I'm going to have to catch up with you offline to make sure you're okay. Charles says, yeah, the proposed change shifts the ability to lock down from the Prime Minister to the Ministry of Health. Ooh. Have you guys heard what the Ministry of the head of the CCSA said? He literally came out and said in a news report, you can look it up, and it's not false. These are facts. You can look it up on any Thai news website where he came out and said if the situation gets out of control, we'll lock it back down. So that's basically what I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's basically what he said. That's not a good look for trying to attract tourists to your country. The overall prospect of trying to get tourists here should be one of, let's do everything we can to bring them in, right? But instead, dual pricing is going through the roof, and they still don't seem to understand that when people go on vacation, I don't drink, you guys know that, but when people go on vacation and want to spend money, most people like to have a beer or, have a cocktail on the beach or something and chill out, right? Or go to a restaurant and have a drink at a restaurant or whatever they do. That's just part of what's happening. And with them having the alcohol ban in place where nobody can serve alcohol, there are some places now that can serve alcohol. But if you're going to have a truly reopened country, and this is a phased reopen, so they're going to let certain countries in, starting with 10, then they're going to move that number in December, then they'll move that number up even more in January. That's the hope, right? So that's what we're looking at, and that's what you got. These are just things to keep in mind, okay? To do your own research about it. Thank you guys so much for giving this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. 19 thumbs up. We're 26 minutes in. That's pretty good, and I really appreciate that. Thank you guys. So let's see. Where was I? Yeah, not sure. I like that. The Minister of Health wants things to move slower. That's true, Charles. He does. He definitely does. And he's made that clear. I think, I can't really comment on what I think about I can't on here comment what I really think about that decision, but I just can say that I hope Thailand doesn't make that decision. That's my personal, I just hope they don't make that decision. If they do, they do, and I'll live with it, and it'll be what it is. But and I says exactly, DoMoreLife. The Vax passport is not really the issue. The need for the Vax passport in this case is inappropriate. Agreed. Ross says, Anon, I just want to wear a button all the time saying when I got Vax. That way, Thais won't think I'm a dirty Frank. I know, man. You guys should go to work with me one day. The Thais don't even come around us. When they do, they double mask themselves. It's weird. It's definitely weird. Anon says, DoMoreLife. Yeah, I did a rant on Integrity's video that he put out this morning on the subject of lockdown returning. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And that's something people don't really consider when they're all like, "Ooh, I'm going to Thailand. I'm going to go see the islands and the whatever, scuba diving and that kind of thing." But don't think about Don't think about all the implications of what it takes to get here. It takes a massive amount of effort to get here. People say, "Oh no, it's easy. You just upload a COE, you put this much money in the bank, and da 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 da." And Thailand seems to be focused on this high quality, high net worth tourist. I don't even know what that means. I know what high net worth means. I know what quality means, but I don't like what you don't want backpackers. Obviously, you don't want criminals. That's fair with the criminals. I agree with that 100%. But you don't want what backpackers that want to come through Thailand and backpack for a month. Like some of them wind up finding teaching jobs over here and they stay for a year. The money that they spend goes right back into the economy. You don't want them. You don't want your 40 million tourists to return because you want to focus on high net worth individuals only. There was an article written and it came out basically and I'm paraphrasing again. It basically said, and this is I got this from Integrity Legal, so many of you have probably seen it, but it was what he said was completely on point. And he was saying, I just don't think you can replace the revenue with 1 million high value or high quality tourists. I don't think you can replace the revenue that 1 million high quality tourists bring to Thailand with a 40 million tourists that Thailand brought in 2019 or 2018, whenever it was. So he's got a really good point. My personal opinion, it should be quantity over quality at this point to help Thailand's economy recover, but I'm not an economist, so that's just, again, it's just an opinion. And it says, Ross Round, I don't think you're going to change the public health minister's view on that subject, no matter what you do. Yeah. Tim says, problem is someone's positive change is another one's negative change. Can be, Tim. There are some sweeping changes I've seen before that have a positive impact on everybody, but they are rare, and so that's a fair point. I don't disagree with you. Ross says the employees at the mall all have the I got vax buttons. I would wear it on my sleeve all the time. There you go. And I says, oh, good Lord. And in his defense, he also said that opening shouldn't be restricted to 10 countries, to be fair to him. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that, but he also is very keen on, or seems to be keen. I should say my perception is he seems to be keen on looking for reasons to shut it down again. I don't know why, but that's the perception that I get. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm not saying it's even true. I'm just saying I perceive by the statements that he's made that, you know, it's almost like he's looking for a reason to stop the reopening, or to mitigate it somehow, or to have to. It's almost like that area of government wants to have the entire control over the entire population at all times. I'm not cool with that. Okay, Mr. Y, good to see you. He says, I respect the fact that even though you decided to get the jab, you understand it shouldn't be mandated. The world needs more people like you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. You know, I did get the jab. In fact, I got both jabs. I got my laminated vaccine card right there. I would pull it out here and show it to you, but it's about this big, and it has all my personal information on it, so I don't want to put it on YouTube. But I got 2 doses of AZ, and the second one, by the way, if you weren't watching Instagram, was milder. The symptoms were much milder than or I should say the side effects from the vax were much milder than the original one that I got, and it was pretty cool. It was good not to get, you know, overwhelmingly sick. I didn't have most of the problems I had last time, and the fever was very mild, very mild. It was tolerable this time. I didn't have to take a lot of like paracetamol or other, you know, medications to reduce fever. But I also, the one thing I did have was dizziness and double vision, and it made it really weird. It lasted for about a day, about 20 hours or so, you know. And then it went away about the same time that it took last time. I made friends with the head of the ICU department at the hospital, which is very close to me. So if I ever get really injured, I know I'll be in good hands. She's an incredible woman. I won't call her name. And of course, she's Thai. And she was the head of the ICU department at a major hospital here in Bangkok. And she's the one that gave me the jab. And she spoke extraordinarily good English. Very, very nice person. It's really when you get outside of I'm trying to think of how to put this in a cultural perspective, because I don't want to sound disrespectful in any way, form, or fashion to the Thai people. Because honestly, here in this country, I have met some of the nicest people in the world in this country. I really have. Of course, there are bad people everywhere, but for the vast majority of people in Thailand, or the interactions that I've had with Thais outside of my working environment and some other small issues from time to time that have arisen, nothing major. But outside of those few instances, I've had nothing but just wonderful interactions with Thais. Wonderful. And it's good to know that we actually sit there and talk. That I started to get up, and she was like, "No, just sit here for a minute and keep talking to me. I haven't talked to an American in a long time." So she wanted me to talk to her for a while, so I did. And she knows my name, and I know hers. And I actually have her line ID, and she has mine. So I told her, I was like, "Yeah, this is where I live." And she told me the hospital where she worked at, and she was like, "Yeah, that's not far." And I was like, "Oh, well, if I ever get hurt, I know where to come." And she said, "Yeah, come see me." So thank you for the comment, Mr. Y. I'm sorry to go off on that tangent, but I thought that was a neat little story I would tell you guys. And thank you for respecting the fact that look, my decision to get both of them were purely, okay, so I could travel with ease. The only reason. I am not typically a person that gives into social norms. Unfortunately, I didn't see a way around this with governments around the world just simply not knowing what to do next, right? Some governments are mandating people, some governments are not. Some governments are trying to change the way people live their lives. Some governments are not. Some countries are requiring you to be double vaxxed before you come in. Some are not. But it looks like everything's going that way, especially in America. God bless America. I'm so glad I'm not there right now. I've never been an activist on anything, ever. Never. But if I moved back to America, I may become one. And that would be, I just don't like being a polarizing person, but, you got to stand up for what you believe in. So thank you for the comment, Mr. Y. I didn't take it because I wanted to. Took it because I felt like I had to. And that's it. Travel TV says, I found some bars throughout Bangkok that are open. I didn't go in, but I asked how, and they said pay off visual. I don't go in. I don't want to lose my work for it. I get caught. Absolutely, and you will do exactly that, Travel TV. So don't get caught, brother. And don't go in. Don't go in bars that are open right now in Bangkok, because they're not supposed to be open. Or Pattaya, for that matter. Don't do it. Don't do it right now at the time of the making of this video. They're not supposed to be open, so don't go there. Filto says, I don't particularly miss alcohol in my leisure, but I do miss those around me being able to drink just for the festive mood. Yeah, same here. I don't miss alcohol at all for me. But for those around me that like to drink and have that, that little edge off or whatever to relax and chill out and enjoy their time, sure. Yeah, I think the alcohol ban needs to go, but that's just, again, that's an opinion that I have. That's a business opinion, not a moral or ethical opinion. Roger says, my lady double mask everywhere she goes, and she's had both jabs. Yeah, to me, that seems excessive. But again, I'm not a doctor. If your doctor tells you to double mask, then I would recommend that you follow your doctor's advice or get a second opinion, or do both. And if she feels safer, there's a lot of Thais around here that are still double masking. even though they've been triple vaxxed. Now they've had their 2 and a booster, and they're still double masking. And to me, I don't know. It is what it is. But whatever makes people feel safe, them double masking does not affect me at all. It has no effect on my life, right? So if they want a triple mask, I don't let them. Anybody, by all means, whatever, do your thing. Whatever makes you feel safe. It's it is what it is. Because we both know. I mean, we all know. Roger, this is about your comment. We all know that you can have both or 3, and still get the virus. So it is what it is. Anna says, by the way, has anybody noticed how the thought about the internal passport to get into restaurants, planes, trains, buses, etc., has been completely abandoned? Yeah, it has. It has here in Thailand. That's not the case in America, unfortunately. But here in Thailand, I've seen people go away from that idea, which is a really good thing. I'm very glad they're getting away from that. That's good for them. Charles White says rich people don't spend money. That's why they are rich. You got a good point, Charles. Ross says after 2 years of the world suffering, how many wealthy people are left? Oh, they made billionaires during the shutdown. And would they really want to deal with the nonsense these days? I think your second sentence is a lot more applicable, Ross. I don't think rich people that are used to having everything done for them are going to want to go through the process of, trying to get all the paperwork and everything together and digital passes with their information on it. Come on, man. I doubt it. Ideal Travel. Haven't seen you before, I don't think. So welcome. A friend of mine recently traveled there and had to do 11 days queue. They only gave him a 30-day stamp, including the queue. I've never heard of that before, since the queue started. I've never heard of the 30-day stamp remaining implemented, because they should have given him a 45-day stamp if he was going to do 14 days in queue. I don't know how that happened or why. Tim says, how do you think those folks became high net worth? They're crooks. Well, they certainly don't have to. If you've been following anything about the U.S. and taxes, if you're a U.S. citizen, you pay taxes no matter where you are in the world, right? And with what the current administration has planned, the taxes that the wealthy are going to have to pay, which won't make a dent in anything, is going to be it's going to be monumental, and it's going to be horrible. So nobody's going to, all the rich people are going to be wanting to move their businesses out of America. They're going to be, again, and they're going to be moving their wealth out of America. Most of it going, if you guys don't keep up with crypto or anything, for those of you that know, I started a very small portfolio in crypto back in May. This is for my retirement. This is for my 10-year retirement. So I haven't taken any kind of profit or anything like that. But there's profit in there, and that's good. So people are going to deflationary assets and deflationary currencies simply because of things like what's going down in America right now. And yes, high net worth individuals do get through loopholes that middle class and lower middle class and the poor do not. So that's a fact. You can fact check me on it. Just look it up. Anon says, oh wait, Ross says, if they really want tourists, give 90-day visa at the border. That's an excellent idea, Ross. I agree. Dump 90-day check-in for those living here. 100 million% agree with that. The 90-day check-in is just a hassle that doesn't need to be there. Get rid of dual pricing and then advertise the hell out of it. That is an idea. That whole comment, Ross, is an idea. But they have come out with an article, the Tiger, or at least the Tiger did anyway. I think it was the Tiger. Yeah, the Tiger came out with an article, and it basically said that, dual pricing, and there was another word in that article. It's just par for the course in Thailand. Get used to it or get over it. So it is, whatever. Anon says for the 1 million high net worth tourists to replace the 40 million middle class tourists, each high net worth tourist would need to spend about $45,000 each. Exactly, Anon. That's why I think the goal of attracting only high net worth individuals is you got to take a step back and really evaluate that. It's not going to happen. You're not going to only attract high net worth individuals. And if you put your country in a place where people think they can't come because they're not good enough, because their social status, their prestige, their wealth doesn't make them good enough to come to your country. That's not good optics. It's not good. Travel TV says, I went to Calcine Road and it was dead. The videos are still up. SC and Instagram. If you want to look, I'll check it out, man. I haven't been to Calcine Road in a long time. I'll check it out for sure. Tim says, I have my Vax card so far. It has been good enough. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Tim. Filto says, you might be able to replace the revenue with high net worth travelers, but you can't replace the distribution of that revenue like that. I don't think you can even replace the revenue, but if you could, Filto, like as you pointed out there, you can't replace the distribution of that revenue like that. That's 100% accurate. Very good point. Very good thought out comment. What's up, Steve Dunn? Good to see you, man. Thank you for dropping by. And I says, okay, the high net worth tourists might do that once, but every year, what a joke. Fair enough. Ross says, Anon, Ross. I'm not gonna read that one out loud. Tim says, Ross, tell that to my bank account. Yeah, tell it to mine too. Ross says, what's the definition for them of high quality tourists, or spending how much each day is considered high end tourist? Yeah, they were averaging in daily cost of high net worth individuals, and I forgot the numbers. I forgot what it was that they spent. Certain high net worth country or high net worth individuals from certain countries tend to spend, 8,000 more baht a day or something like that in the economy than your average tourist. But what they don't realize is if you get 40 million tourists spending, 1,000 baht a day, that's I don't know. It is what it is. And I'm laughing at Ross Real. Says, last night some woman came by selling mangoes. She charged a Thai person 40 baht for a kilo. She tried to charge me 50 baht. My Thai girlfriend went off on her. Good for her. Charles White says, at Mr. Y, I agree. Why can people just let it be up to you? They have started advertising the influenza shots here in the U.S., but you don't see people mandating that. Good point. Very good point. Let's see. Ross says, Anon, my wife is in the same way. Dual pricing is ingrained into the culture. It is. Anon in parentheses says, the silly woman didn't think I could understand the meaning. Talking about money. Gotcha. Travel TV says, I don't put up with dual pricing. I'll walk away. I do the same thing. 100%. Tim says, line ID, what the heck is that? LOL. Yeah. So somebody's got to we have to figure out a way to get Tim in the line group. We got to figure out a way to get him in there. He can't figure it out, and I've given him instructions, and for whatever reason, I don't know, I have no clue where the problem is. Could be in my instructions, could be something he's doing, could be neither one of us, could be software problem. Don't know, but we need to get to him in our channel members private line group for sure. Yep, Travel TV is trying to help him out. He's kidding. Charles White says, Anon, yeah, my girl took the money from my hand as I was counting it out to buy something, and she gave the vendor half of what they asked for. Wow. Tim says, Travel TV, I know I'm having issues with the line app. Yep, he is. Ross says, for the few that live here, what do you find is the worst part of living here? For me, it's going clothing shopping and the person working there following me around like I'm a shoplifter. They do that. For me, it's the way that their teaching system here is really weird. If you have to work here and you want to be a teacher, there are a lot of hoops that you have to jump through as you continue to be a teacher. It's pretty easy to get your first teaching job here, but not if you want to make any money. And, you know, every other foreign employee that I know of in Thailand, the minimum that you can pay them if you own a business is 50,000 baht a month. Okay, except teachers. We don't meet that requirement. So, you know, that's my biggest problem. Travel TV says, I don't go to places that don't have the price out for you to see. That's also a good idea. Ross says, I'm way behind in comments. I got to catch up here because we're about out of time. Ross says, thinking they are providing good service, they make me uncomfortable, so I leave and buy nothing. I understand. Tim says, you don't have to stand tall, but you do have to stand up. I agree with that statement 100%. And I says, Ross, I hear you, but not just clothes shopping. I think they're really trying to get the commission for helping, but are too aggressive. Yeah, exactly. Banana IT are the main culprit that I've seen, but I've seen that Lotus before too. Me too. Same thing. Ross says, I only buy computer stuff from Jib. They're great. That's cool. Tim says, I do 24 years clean sober, and I would always give it all up if it did not always come back to bite me in the butt every time. That's because it's a movie that you've already seen. You can play the tape through the end, and you know how the movie ends. That's why you don't start it, right? That's what I do. And I've only got 10 years clean sober. Almost 10 and a half now. Scott says, these are easy ways to boost your immune system, but there are easy ways to boost your immune system. Nobody's in it. Oh, Scott, that statement is your statement is correct, but you're also so wrong. There are so many people interested in it. I became overwhelmingly interested in it, and I did exactly what I wanted to do. I developed a health plan in connection with telemedicine and everything else. I didn't get sick the whole time, and I only got my first jab back in okay, thank you for alerting me. I got jabbed back in July, so you know it was what it was. Let's see. Charles White has posted a challenge. He says, 10-minute challenge. Get $50 and I will give $25. Wow. Dude, if we can make $75 today, I will literally give you guys a hug when I meet you. I promise. I will hug you. And that's not quite enough for a chicken dance, but 75 would be amazing. So, first of all, thank you to the person who let me know that. And secondly, thank you for throwing out the challenge. I really appreciate it. And I hope we meet it because we have 6 minutes. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Thank you, Charles. Scott, back to your comment. I absolutely made my own regimen. I didn't have any problems. but at the same time, I couldn't get a jab during those, I guess, year and almost a half. Basically, the vaccine just wasn't available here, at least not for me. So I did the best I could with my immune system, and I didn't have any problems. I followed social distancing protocols. I followed wearing a mask, and I did a lot of other things for my immune system. But YouTube won't let us talk about that. So, my point was, Scott, that people were very interested in alternative things. Roger McGee has kicked off the challenge. We love Roger McGee. Roger McGee is, thank you very much, Roger, by the way. He has sent in $20 to kick off Charles's challenge. Charles said to get 50, and he'll put in 25. So, and all this will go to the travel fund, guys. All money now is going to travel fund, okay? And channel members, when we have our live stream in about 15 or 20 minutes, you're gonna know why. Because I got some information for you. I got some real information for you that's gonna be different. Mr. Y just sent $10 via the Cash App. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. There's Rogers, $20 from PayPal. I don't know why they went to a black screen now, but they did. So thank you very much, Roger. I appreciate that. And from Mr. Y, I will show you guys that, and we will. There's the balance. How do I? Hang on, I got a privacy notice in terms of service before I can show you that. So that's $30. So we only need 20 more, and then we're done. Accept, cash balance 10. Meet the cash card. Don't need to do that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. There he is. Let me send him a heart. And there you go. $10. Okay, so we got 30 in the pot. We need 20 more dollars to make Charles White pay $25. So it could be a good day for DoMoreLife. Thank you guys so much. All right. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Yeah, I'm not missing anybody. Okay. Let me go back up here. Where was I? And it says Ross Round Cham is still a small town, or relatively. So is Wahin. Yeah, I've been through both of them. They're pretty. Cham's small, very small. Mark says hello from Chicago. What's up, man? I've never been to Thailand, but I always wanted to go there. It's a great place to come. That's for sure. Ross says that Mark, it's much warmer than Chicago. Yeah, I think Ross lived in Chicago and has a lot more hills and mountains. That's true. Tim says, I don't pay any taxes except property taxes. That's understandable if you're retired. Ross says, wealthy people always know ways to avoid taxes. They sure do, Ross. It is what it is. Tim says the wealthy make the tax laws. They have their escapes in them already. I can't disagree with that. And I says, DoMoreLife, what's the 45-day stamp supposed to end in 30th of September? I didn't read that. I don't know. I would have to research that. The Washington, D.C. Thai embassy is back to saying 30 days. I don't know. I haven't read that. That's the first I've heard of it, and I'm not sure, bud. Scott says, I'm all for the wealthy avoiding taxes. They didn't get rich by watching TV all day. That's true. If they did pay tax, the government would just waste it anyway. Well, I can't argue with that. Tim says, Scott, true, most inherited their wealth. That's fair enough. Let's see. Travel TV says, Ross, I got a new line ID and lost you. Can you send me a request? I'd name the request. Okay. Scott says, Tim, if you inherited a lot of money, would you want to pay half of it to the government? Of course not. Nobody would. And I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with people that inherited money. I agree, it's good for them. But well, I'm not going down that road. Rob P says they allow unvaxxed people to enter, but might have businesses ask for Vax Pass. To the best of my knowledge, if you're talking about Thailand, Rob, I don't. To the best of my knowledge, Thailand's not going to do that. At least not yet. Anyway, I don't see it in that. I think you'll find here's my prediction on that. Okay, I know we're at an hour. We hadn't met our challenge, but we're very close. We got $30. We only need 20 more. So, but we're gonna. I want to get through the rest of the comments here. Okay, so here's what I think will happen. I think that you will see a lot of foreigners who own businesses here. Not all of them, but a lot of them will not enforce any time if they have a choice. If the government gives them a choice, which I believe they will. I think that a lot of foreign-owned business won't implement a mandate in Thailand. Okay, that's just my opinion, not set in stone. But I believe Thai-owned businesses will. Just simply because the Thais are terrified of this thing. Absolutely terrified of it. So it is what it is. Tim says, wait. Anon says, DoMoreLife restaurant. I like the 90-day visa exempt entry. Makes sense. I agree. And if they want to get rid of backpackers, change the cash requirement from 20K to 40K. Yeah, that's true. Well, I could do a whole video on that comment just by itself. Tim said, Robert put up the channel member link there. If you guys that want to become channel members. Tim says, Scott, no, but I certainly would not go around saying I earned my money either. I hear you, bud. All right. Scott says, Tim, what they say is totally irrelevant. Pete says, my mate Mike was live not long ago. Yes. If you're talking about Mike from Live My Ass Off, he was live. Good friend of mine. Love him a lot. He was live. That's true. I don't know why you're putting that in the comments, but thank you. I guess. Tim says, Pete, yep, saw that. Good to see Mikey back on YouTube. Yeah, he's doing a little vacation run right now, I think. Ross says, Tim, I did not work for my money. I just looked my way into some good decisions along the way. There you go, buddy. Wow. So now we only need $10 more now, guys, to meet the challenge. We just got $10 from a person called One. Well, actually, I'm not sure if I can give you this person's name, so I'll cover it up, and then I'll show you the $10 that we just got. There we go. All right, that was in PayPal. 10 more, and Charles White will have to pay up. All right. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate it. We're talking about Line App here. Let's see. Well, I got a lot of comments to go through real quick. Ross says, okay, Ross is talking to Tim about all that. Good. Jay East, what's up, buddy? Hello, Jeremy. Great to catch the live stream. If all goes well, we'll be there in January. Thoughts? I think January should be a safe bet. Pretty much. Wow, what's up, buddy? I missed you, man. I was wondering where you were. How much? What? Why would you ask that? It's good to see you, Lyle. What's up, Big Kev? Let's see. Charles White challenge and the PayPal link Robert's dropped. Charles says, come on, people, 5 to 10 each, get to 50, make me pay. Well, we only need $10 more, and then you'll have to pay Charles. iOS update locked things down more and made dark screen for apps more common. I see. Ross says, to me, needs wealthy subscribers the way Thailand is looking for. Yeah, there you go. It is what it is, right? Tim says, Ross, I'm screwed then. Yeah. No, you guys know that contribution is voluntary. But yeah, high net worth subscribers would be great. Anna says, wealthy people can afford the tax lawyers. That's true. Therefore, when somebody wants to, yay, we got the $10 in. Thank you very much, sir, that sent $10. I know exactly who you are, and I appreciate you very much for doing that. So thank you very much. I won't put your the name up here unless you want me to. But there is the, let me see if I can get it to show. There it is. There's the $10 right there. So, Charles White, challenge met. Thank you very much to everyone who contributed. I love you guys for it. I really appreciate it. And there's Charles White's 25 into PayPal. Let me wait for the email to come through. I'll show it to you. I'll finish the comments. I'll wrap it up. And then we'll be in channel member mode. There's the email. Give me 1 second. Charles White sent $25 just like he promised he would. We've had a $75 day, and I love you guys for it. Thank you so much for the contribution. Cannot be expressed enough how much I appreciate it. Thank you. Allow says you were saying 75, not enough for chicken dance. Yeah, that's not enough for a chicken dance. I think last time when I did the chicken dance, we were like 250 or something like that, right? Yeah, for me to do another chicken dance on a live stream, it's gonna take a little bit. Let's see. Anna says wealthy people can afford the tax lawyers. Therefore, when someone wants to tax the rich, they really mean tax the middle class. 100%. 100%. Travel TV says I got my TR tourist visa from Washington, D.C. in under 10 days. That's good information, Travel TV. Thank you. Charles White says, come on, while they're still talking, drop 20 more fare. Oh, it's all hooked up. Ross says, Anon, I just paid my account $15,000 to set up offshore business. Doing so will avoid more than $40,000 in taxes each year. I don't know if I want to put that on YouTube, Ross. You might want to remove that comment. Tim says, so can I be part of this other chat now? If you can get in line, yeah. You just need to add me as a friend in line. Look up my line ID. Here's my line ID. I'm going to put it in there right now. Actually, it's all legal. Cool, man. There is my line ID, Tim. I just put it in the comment section. You can get that line ID, and you can send me a message online, and I will reply to you and add you to the group. Yes, because you're a channel member, you can also get in on the channel members only live stream. So that's coming up in just a minute. That's awesome, Ross. Lyle says you were saying, but yeah, chicken dance. Pep, Charles White, done. Filtho says wealthy people can afford the chicken dance. That's also true. Hood Famous, what's up, man? In the air tonight, Phil Collins, I hear you. Travel TV says I'll send you a request online as well. Do that, Travel TV. Definitely do that. Line ID still not happening, says Tim. Tim, you're going to have to watch YouTube. And you're going to have to go to YouTube, how to use the Line app on YouTube, or how to use the Line app. Just type that in the search bar of YouTube. Watch a couple videos on it. You'll get it, buddy. Tim says, good night. You leaving already? We're getting ready to have another live stream. So anyway, I hope this answered and gave you guys some information, some clarity on things that are going on. Thank you all so much for your monetary contributions. I really cannot. Oh, this is Travel TV ad. All right, bro. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up real quick, and bam, you are there. Cool, awesome. Glad to have you, man. Okay. So with all that being said, well, let me do my usual rundown. Thank you for your monetary contributions. I cannot say thank you enough. Be sure to hit thumbs up on your way out if you hadn't already. Autumn and Age says, see you on the dark side. I hear you, brother. Autumn, you keep doing your thing, man. I know you're having a good time down there. I love that. Charles says, good job, fam. Travel funds need nourishment. Yes, they do, and I appreciate that very much, Charles. Thank you very much, so much. Ross has put a video link up there for you, Tim. That should help you out, buddy. Hood Famous says, I guess the nightmare is almost done. Finally, is looking good and everyone's all right. This was a crazy, horrible journey. LOL. Yes, it's been crazy. That's for sure. YouTube Travel TV, have a good day, man. And now that you're in Bangkok, even though I think you're on the other side of Bangkok. In fact, I know you're on the other side of Bangkok. But we're going to have to get together at some point with you living here for a while and having a job. We're going to have to get together. So I'm looking forward to having a lot of you guys some type of meetup in Bangkok, maybe middle of November or something. I don't know. Who knows? We'll figure something out. My birthday is in the first week of November, so maybe the first weekend of November we can have a subscriber meetup. Just throwing it out there. We'll check it out. For the monetary contributions, I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you so much. We're building a travel fund. We can do Lunch Travel TV for sure. To build a travel fund, so when it's time, we can get back on the road again. And then I want to thank everybody who commented today. Absolutely great discussion. Loved it. We had a great time. This is why I say you don't need 300 people in your chat to have a good day, right? You don't need 300 people in your chat to have or 3,000 to be successful. So success is a subjective term I've learned recently, and I'm going to talk about more of that. Mr. Latin, I knew if anybody would want information on something like that, it would be you. Funny. Thank you immensely to my channel members who are just amazing. And also thank you to my moderators who help keep the channel under control. Really appreciate it. So you guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream today. I'm gonna try to have the next live stream up in about 10 minutes. So channel members, just stand by, and we will have that live stream up in about 10 minutes. So about 20 past the hour. Try to look for that live stream. 20, 25 past the hour. Try to look at that live stream. Okay. I like that saying down there, Ross. Yeah, take care. Good to see you, Hood Famous, by the way. And good to see everybody, really. Lots of changes coming up, which I'm going to be discussing with my channel members in just a second. And that's it for today. So, you guys take care of yourself. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for the channel, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying what little bit of content I've been able to put out recently, which is going to be explained and is going to change drastically coming up. So, anyway, love you guys. Take care. Whatever you do today, find a way to do more life. See ya.